Hey, it's JQuest. So today I'm actually doing a little bit of commentary so that way people can kind of see what it's like for the perspective of a new killer. I've only been playing the game about 3 weeks. Onryo is actually really strong, and you kind of only need this one perk on her. But the team I'm going against today is really good. They were kind of a little, I don't know if the right word is hokey or a little bit bullyish, but they actually did a great job, and you'll kind of understand as we go through why I had to make certain adjustments to the way I usually play Onryo and play a little bit, I guess, scummy against them. But just sit back and enjoy, and I'll chime back in when the time is right. So things are going good so far. I got my first down. I'm trying to head the hook. I get a little bit of a body block here. And that's actually going to be just enough to allow the survivor to escape with as good as they're doing the wiggles. Oh, no, no, it is not. I forgot I actually got this one hooked. Pop the generator, and so normally I don't hang around the hook. I pop a close by generator and then I'm gone, but these guys are swarming already. So do I just give up the hook? You know, is that what survivors want us to do? Just give up the hook, go to the other side of the map, let them do their thing. I'm trying to have fun in the game too, and if you're coming to me, then you're gonna get hit. It's kind of that simple. It's not like I want to camp, it's not like I want to tunnel, but when you're being that aggressive about getting people off of hooks, getting heals, things of that nature, you kind of eliminate a lot of my choices. So this is more of my play style. I got the guy hooked. Let me get some distance, kind of stay within a reasonable proximity so if they try to rush again, I can be back on them. And again, that's just because they set the tone so early with rushing right away. So I see a gen pop, let me go in and start moving around the map again. And that's one of the things that's really great about Onryo is she does provide total map pressure as long as somebody's not turning off their televisions. Now, again, if you've noticed, I'm not playing super scummy yet. I'm not going right after the person that just came off the hook, even though I could have gotten an easy down. It's kind of still moving around. But again, they're so close together. They are body blocking. They are getting people off of hooks. I've got to be a little bit smart about how I'm playing them. So if you're playing Survivor like this and you're complaining about somebody face camping you and you're using flashlights and you're rushing for heals, you're rushing on gens, you're rushing to get people off of hooks, and you're doing it in a group, really don't complain. It's part of the game. So we have to, come up with strategies to counteract that. And again, I also don't know this map. You'll see a lot of instances of that later where I bamboozle myself because I don't know the layout and I don't know the jungle gems and the structures. And especially underneath here, I get so turned around and so lost around this area. It's kind of crazy. Now, this guy right here in particular, he was so good at running me, eating up my time. Like, he was just absolutely fantastic. I needed to get rid of that because if he vaults over that, he's gone. I'm never catching him. And you can see my map awareness is terrible as I just kind of fall and I'm like, you know what, let me reset, let me move away, let them think that they're safe. But the other thing to notice is everybody's healed. So just again, you know, and this is not against all survivors. A lot of survivors are just really awesome. But some survivors will complain about the tunneling and the camping. Well, when you can heal everybody with just one totem, what else are we supposed to do? So now everybody's back to full health. Again, just imagine if you left a gen for 15, 20, 30 seconds and that gen was back to zero progression. Kind of the same thing here. You know, it's you got to think about it in a thing of fair play, I guess. And again, this guy with his movement and running, and granted, I'm not great at chasing, and I will say, I don't think Sadako as a character is great at chasing, especially around a jungle gem like this. But man, this person did such a great job. Now, I will say, I think this is their one mistake. Had they stayed up top, they literally could have run me around that the rest of the match. I was not going to catch them, most likely. But when they drop down, changes a few little things, gives me a little bit of, I guess, a different route to go to find people. So I think that was probably their one mistake that let me get back into this. Because up until this point, I was definitively losing. And this person's trying to do the same thing the other guy was to me. However, just not as good at it, just not as proficient. I still need him to make a mistake though. And here is where the mistake comes in. Uh, Guy comes in to body block, and now you have two people running in this small area. And if they're not on 100% the same page, that's why I get the down. It's just because they were not on the same page. So thankfully they ran into each other and helped me out a lot. And same thing, you know, both of them right back on top of me. What am I supposed to do? I can pick one up. Okay, now I gotta drop her, go for the other one, because again, they're getting people up so insanely fast. There you go, already up. Like, again, you know, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, like, as somebody that plays killer, what do you expect us to do when you're playing like this as Survivor? And that's something where I think they can nerf or adjust some of the perks on both sides, on both the Survivor side and the killer side, to make it not turn into a game like this that's really kind of like a slugfest, and it's slower paced and it's a little aggravating on both sides and a little boring. Even though I did really enjoy this game, it felt like a bit of a game, if you know what I mean. And again, at this point, I am still really, really losing this game. Three gens down, nobody's dead. I am in a lot of trouble. But this is also where Sadako can be really strong. I don't think she's tremendously strong in the early game, especially not the early game. But as the game progresses, you get into the mid game, you get into the late game, she does get stronger because of the total map pressure ability. And that's just me trying to get them to back off a little bit. As you can see, they've got Mr. Clicky Click there, trying to blind me. And again, they're all on top of each other, which, you know, for certain killers, that makes it really easy. If you've got, you know, Basement Bubba, super easy to handle all of that. But when you're not a killer with great chase potential and one-shot potential, it really hurts. And if you notice that I am leaving them on the ground, I'm not going for hooks right away. Again, it's just because they're right in front of me. I've got to do something to buy myself the time. So that way I can try to get control of this back. Now I'm starting to climb back into the match because again I've adjusted my normal tactics. Let me drag him into the middle of nowhere, drop him, and I'm trying to just waste time, trying to get the bleed out, trying to occupy, trying to slow down the gen progression, trying to slow down the healing as much as I can, because I really am. I'm completely overmatched still at this point because many of the gens are very close to being done. I'm just eating up time. And in case you're wondering, if you've seen any of the other Onryo videos, the reason this is a yellow perk is I did prestige her. Onryo is, to me, she's my favorite killer in the game. Again, I'm very new to the game. This is the first killer that I actually started playing and learning how to play. But I think she's awesome. I know some other people would say she's C tier or whatever. But for their playstyle, she absolutely is. For my playstyle of needing to move to exert that map pressure because I'm not good in one-on-ones, I'm not good in the chase, you know, this playstyle really benefits me, I think.
And that is game. Dude, this was actually a pretty decent team. Uh-oh. What happened to your puzzle?
And here's where the lack of map awareness is hurting me. I don't really know where all the hooks are, so whenever I pick somebody up, you'll see me looking around, like, okay, where do I go? Where's a close one? But this is what I'm talking about. This ability to just teleport and be on the other side of the map, put pressure back on the other team. That's so beneficial for me personally. And without that ability, I don't get that down. They probably get healed up, and I'm just in a world of hurt. And I'm not worried too much about hooking the guy that I just downed. I know he's in trouble. I can see the timer, really? And it's almost out, so I'm content to let him bleed out at this point because I have to keep the pressure on these guys. They are so good. And boom, just what I was talking about. He just goes over to her and she's back up, and the chase is back on.
Little too early. Good flash work though.
That was such a good pallet by her, so smart. But again, I'm not necessarily trying to just tunnel her, kill her. It's more, let me eat up time, let me waste time. I see, Elite Gamer God's timer going down more and more, and so sometimes you just have to pick your battles. Now, I am going to tunnel him because I know he's getting close to being out of time. And so he's down now. I'm back after the other Michaela. And like I said, you can call these scumbag tactics if you want. I was down 3 gens with nobody dead, and now I'm still only down 3 gens, 2 people dead, 1 person running out of time, 1 person injured. So now I have a chance to actually win the match instead of just getting destroyed and completely run over and bullied by the survivors. Now, that was probably also a mistake to drop that particular pallet. That's one of the god pallets in any shack. But actually, I'd love to hear, excuse me, I'd love to hear from any of you guys. What do you think about this style of when you run into a killer playing like this? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's unfair? What do you think about the survivor style? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's unfair? I'd love to hear both sides and both thoughts. As you see, they're wiggling no, but sorry, man, that's GG's for you. Your timer is over. And I'm a little lost under here, as you can tell. They're most likely going to wiggle free. I believe they do here in just a second. I don't even think I get that close to a hook before they do. But that's sometimes with the way the perks are, it's really a cause-effect scenario. If you create things that give survivors an advantage like that, then killers have to play like this. So it's kind of mutually assured destruction. So, if you want killers to not do this, then you have to address the perks to balance the gameplay so they don't have to do this to actually play. Anyways, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the game. Have a great day. Later, guys.
So one of them in their screen name was named Elite Gamer God. This was a fun match. This was a long match. They ran me all over the place. GG's to them, though. I got 10 knockdowns in one match? Wow. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, look at their perks. That is also crazy.